Okay, so this is a bit weird to follow. I am now in Phoenix at Katie's house, packing to leave America. I finished at NAU, but I'm still editing these videos because I'm so slow and bad at editing. But I wanted to tell this now, aside from the Doctor Who time travel stuff that's going on with these vlogs now. Sorry about that, but this is what happened in New York that I don't explain in the video, but I wanted to put in beforehand. At TED, which is where we left off last time in New York, at TED I met Richard Curtis, who is the director of Love Actually and writer of Love Actually and a writer of one of the best British comedies of all time, Blackadder, starring Rowan Atkinson. He's a British comedy legend, and he also co-created Red Nose Day and Comic Relief with Lenny Henry, which has raised billions of dollars for amazing charitable causes. And he was there in the audience in TED, and I knew that it would be him in New York because he was working with some of the big YouTubers for bringing Comic Relief and Red Nose Day to the US. So I went up to him, asked if he was indeed Richard Curtis. He said yes, and we talked about comedy and YouTubing, and they were interested in, and his group were interested in studying in America, so we talked about that. And it was just amazing. It was so nice to talk to him. He was such a lovely guy. And then afterwards, this is why I wanted to talk about it. Afterwards, I'm waiting in the road outside the theatre, hoping that the speakers will come out and talk to them, so I could talk to them. And he ends up standing next to me again, and I don't want him to think that I've again come up to him and want to ask him. I don't want him to think I'm an annoying person. So I ask him casually, like, how did you find that? As in, what did you think of the TED Talks? But then I'm concerned that he'll turn to me and see me staring at him again and think, oh god, this guy's crazy. So I look down at his chest so that when he turns around it's not such an intense situation. And then because I'm looking at his chest and he heard, how did you find that? He thought I was asking about the sweater he was wearing and took offense to me questioning his fashion choice, and he said it was a gift and walked away. I mean, this is a little preview thing for Richard Curtis, if for some reason you're watching. I did not mean to insult your sweater, it was very nice, but the main thing is I was asking how TED was. I'm sorry if I insulted you. Yeah. Here's the vlog.
Hello. This is the shop. So today is Saturday in New York City. Last night TED was amazing, completely took it out of me. So tired afterwards. There was a camel, I met Richard Curtis and Lenny Henry, and then I got to meet Zariah the artist, got her email address, so hopefully we'll be able to communicate more, because she's going to Antarctica today. Hopefully I'll be going again in March. Now we're on Canal Street, headed towards Broadway, where Casey Neistat's office is. And I said I wouldn't go and be one of those kids that waits outside, because I've only got a few days here, I don't want to spend 3 hours waiting for that. But so many people have seen me with the Osmo and have asked me about it, and they all saw it in Casey Neistat's video as well. So I thought I might as well go to the area on the way to downtown and see what's going on. And then there's that dollar pizza store as well. So this is all very new looking. So this is the One World Trade Center, particularly the Freedom Tower. Richard was explaining yesterday that the World Trade Center is actually split over multiple buildings. And the Freedom Tower is the iconic new skyline piece, I suppose you could call it. Right, Richard's in charge. Where are we going?
Oh, don't say that. We're going that way.
That way. Top of the rock? Finished that song off quite nicely, I think. Such an aggressive tourist.
Hang on, sorry. We've got so much footage of me putting stuff in the bin.
Well, that's New York for you. Consuming.
Consuming and then disposing.
Waste production. This is the boring bit where I don't have anything to say, I'm just filming my face.
Just filming yourself.
I'll make up some facts. This pavement is where Abraham Lincoln's ghost walks every night.
Good one.
Yeah, thanks. Fact.
That dog. It's actually got shoes on. No, it doesn't.
It does. It does have shoes on. That dog has shoes on. I don't know, like the fact that we're resorting this implies that we think New York's a boring city, which isn't the case.
It's just that there's so much to know we couldn't possibly actually take it all in,
yeah.
so we're just making up our own facts because we can't cope.
Yeah. So we're going to the top of the rock for sunset, but it's really cloudy, so there probably won't be a proper sunset. We'll see. But
We'll see it get dark.
Rich's favourite place in New York, so that bodes well. And I've always wanted to go to that building because of the show 30 Rock, so I'm very excited. It's kind of hot. This is the nicest subway entrance I've ever seen. There was one in Boston that I think was trying to be like this, but it just sort of looked like a dilapidated shack.
2, 3, 8, 6.
And we want to get to 103rd Street, so we could maybe get a B or a D train all the way up here. One train. If you just buy this shirt, Ollie, that would be ideal, because then we can make plans and walk at the same time.
How much is this map?
Okay, so you need to buy this shirt and this shirt in order to have the complete map.
This is Survival Skills in the City with Richard White. Where are you?
Let's go.
God, I'm hungry now actually.
You haven't eaten for like 18 hours.
How to save money in New York?
Just
Don't eat.
quit eating.
Oh, I shouldn't give terrible tips. This is how I check focus. Because sometimes I'll be filming and the background's a focus and I'm just a blur. Just talking. I look like a giant thumb. Yeah, just another survival tip from New York. Don't take F trains. Don't read maps off t-shirts. Humans of New York.
So why did you sit down?
What stories have you got to tell us?
No stories. We've got lots of stories that don't have the words.
Could you sing it?
I'll mime it.
Watch out. Here comes the waterfall. So we're now in Brooklyn. This is the Brooklyn Museum, which has history and art and all sorts. And it's a beautiful building. And Moses is on it. So that's good. There we can see stuff for free. That looks really nice.
Oh, time lapse.
Through the dirty windows. It smells funny. Suits you. You would not have thought this was Brooklyn. I have a feeling you aren't going to win.
Did we press a button? Where do we want to go?
So the woman at the front desk said that there is a BMW outside the museum collecting Lego pieces for Ai Weiwei's next piece. Because he wasn't allowed Lego by Lego, so people are donating. This is that car.
And then you can say what's actually happening.
Well, it's nice to have seen the Lego pieces that could be used for his next piece. We were there. The car.
Didn't donate anything, but you know.
Oh, well, I don't go around with Lego on me. I don't mind going straight back if you want, because it's getting cold.
You wore a t-shirt today.
Well, yeah, because you said it was hot.
I said it was sunny.
You said it was lovely.
Yeah, it was sunny.
Oh, a child's fallen out of the pram. She's going, look, she's going. So we're back in the flat. Now that the skies have cleared, it's so much colder at night here in New York, which is good because it means that carrying my sweatshirts wasn't for waste. We're going to head out, take the dog out, and then I'm going to meet Mikhail from the Global Himalayan Expedition, who lives in New York. I haven't seen him for 2-3 years now, so this will be really good. So the first night we arrived in Times Square by accident because every subway we've taken has gone through Times Square. And we thought that would be a really cool place to do time-lapse because it's so busy and the lights and all that sort of stuff. So we're heading there now on my last night. It's the last chance to do a nighttime time-lapse in Times Square. Times Lapse Square. No.
You can tell that Ollie's had his what have you been drinking?
Fucking pumpkin cider. Anyway,
It's your pumpkin cider.
we're heading to Times Square to get a time lapse of the busyness and the craziness and the lights because it's, I don't know, it's a cool part of New York from what I've seen. It would be cool to get a time lapse of Brooklyn Bridge and the people going across that and the bikes and all that stuff too, but it's too windy to get a time lapse on Brooklyn Bridge because it's a cable-based bridge, so it actually wobbles. That's awesome. Which is
You thought that was awesome.
It's awesome, apparently, according to that guy, yeah. You know, some eagle-eyed viewers may think, well, Ollie, you're scared of buildings. How can you go on a wobbly bridge? It's old and big enough to forget that it's a bridge, so I can walk across it just thinking it's like wooden slats individually, not a whole structure that could collapse any second and kill us all. That's how that works. Yeah. Oh, there's the people. Look at them. There they are. Oh, it's Woody. Oh, it's Woody.
Snake.
Here we are. I've just been thinking that there's this strange coziness to Times Square because you're enclosed by these giant screens and it's such a big crowd that you can be alone within the crowd, enclosed in this beautiful, colourful space, and it is cozy, it's strange. Just found out an amazing fact in Times Square. I did not expect to learn this on this trip. China has roads and electricity. I mean, I don't know if people knew that before, but obviously China doesn't think people know that enough to spend millions of dollars advertising in Times Square that China has roads and electricity. It's a bit strange. Richard has a thing for horses. Richard, it smells of horse poo. Why are you? Oh.
I hate
it. Richard hates Times Square. I'm surprised at how much I like it. Top of the Rock is an excellent favourite place to have. It's fantastic views, but very costly. That membership card. I should think about that. There's Richard wandering into the road as usual. Final night in New York, what's going to happen? It could be crazy. I know, let's go to bed. I've missed fights before and it's too stressful to go through again. I would never willingly do that again.